A massive idol group is holding auditions for new members, and Ruby is eager to try her luck. The first stage of the audition is a written application, and the number of applicants is ridiculous. Out of over 130,000 submissions, 1,000 or so, including Ruby, managed to pass to the second stage, which is an interview. On average, only about 1 out of every 13 applicants makes it through. Ruby anxiously awaits hearing back from them. At her middle school, she can't shut up about it. She had waited for this opportunity for 2 years, and she's excited and hopeful. Her friends are supportive. She is cute, and her dancing is good. Her singing, though, leaves something to be desired, but her friends think she makes up for it in charisma. Ruby holds 2 secrets close to her heart that she cannot share with anyone. The first is the identity of her mother, Ai, a popular idol and rising star in the media who was tragically killed by a fanatical stalker a decade ago. The second is that she possesses memories from her previous life, and in that life, she was a devoted fan of Ai. Ever since her mother's passing, Ruby has been determined to fulfill her dream of becoming a successful idol, just like Ai. Ruby's brother Aqua, however, is a more practical person who focuses on his studies. He sees the life of an idol as nothing more than a big fantasy, especially since their salaries aren't as great as most think. Their careers usually end before the age of 30, and their daily lives are pretty much public knowledge, with every little thing they do subject to criticism. Her dream of becoming an idol is not only a tall one, but also not very rewarding even if she does make it. Despite this, Ruby won't give up. Since their mother's death, Aqua has grown into a very serious-minded person. It's anyone's guess whether he's even capable of having a good time. He's an apprentice under the director now, but Ruby's pretty sure he's got more going on than what he lets on. Ichigo disappeared after the incident, forcing Miyako into leadership at the agency, which wasn't that big of a leap actually. She'd kind of been running business behind the scenes anyway. Ruby pesters her about creating a new idol group, but it's not as easy as it seems. The odds of achieving what they had with Ai were absurd to begin with. To expect it to happen again is pure pipe dream. At last, Ruby gets the call with her audition result. It's not what she had hoped for. Miyako tries to comfort her and reminds her that it's a harsh business. A lot goes into these decisions that they've got no control over, and it's never just a question of talent. But the truth is even more brutal this time. Aqua, Ruby's own brother, was the one who called her. He altered his voice and played the part of a recruiting agent. He had secretly withdrawn Ruby from the competition by text message from her phone and blocked the real agency's number. The director can't comprehend why Aqua would go to such extreme lengths to shatter his sister's aspirations. Ruby is a stunning girl and has a real shot at making it, but he won't let the tragedy that befell their mother happen to Ruby, and it's preferable that he handles it alone. For better or worse, Ruby is approached on the street by a scout for an underground idol group, and she can't help but feel like it's fate. Miyako and Aqua are both skeptical about this opportunity. Once again, Aqua feels the need to prevent Ruby from pursuing her dream. Miyako understands how he feels, but since taking on the role of raising Ruby as her own daughter, she can't bring herself to stand in the way of her aspirations. And as much as she hates to say it, Ruby may actually have what it takes. Aqua is still hesitant to accept it. He grabs one of the agency's business cards and heads out. He seems to have a plan. Aqua approaches a girl named Lala as a scouting agent for Strawberry Productions and presents her with the agency's card. After gaining her trust, he brings her to the office. Aqua's objective is to get some information about the agency that's headhunting Ruby, the same agency that currently represents Lala. Miyako is surprised by Aqua's unconventional approach, but goes with it. Aqua goes on to tell Lala that Strawberry Productions could probably offer her a better deal, but would like to hear about her current conditions to be sure. Lala quickly divulges her contract terms. She reveals what she makes on average per month, which is nothing exciting, and that the general atmosphere there is antagonistic, her included. She blames her own lack of success on favoritism, alleging that the manager is dating one of her colleagues and putting most of his effort into promoting her. There's a lot of talk among the other members about quitting, and the management seems to be constantly scouting for new talent. After Lala leaves, Miyako cautions that they shouldn't take everything she said at face value. considering that even in Ai's group there were rumors of favoritism due to her outshining everyone. However, Aqua is not willing to take any chances and won't let Ruby join a group with so much controversy going on. He's determined to do anything to stop Ruby from pursuing this. The next day, Miyako has one final conversation about it with Ruby, warning her again about all the negative aspects of the industry. Ruby remains determined to become an idol like her mother. Miyako then advises her against joining the group she was scouted for, and instead offers her a spot in a new group that her agency will now put together. This will be the agency's first new idol group since B. Komachi disbanded. Ruby signs her new contract and is ecstatic. Aqua seems oddly indifferent. Aqua drops in on the director and sits down to do some work as his apprentice. The director observes Aqua's reaction to his sister becoming an idol with Miyako's agency. And yeah, it's not what he wanted, but at least this way they've got some control of the situation. Aqua edits some footage for the director. His true motivation for staying connected to the entertainment business is to find out who his father is and take revenge. He needs to be in close contact with folks in the industry so he can somehow collect DNA samples. Being an actor would make it easier, but seeing other people perform, he doesn't think he's got the chops for greatness as an actor, and feels it's pointless to chase something if you won't be able to stand out. The director attempts, multiple times, to offer Aqua some sage words of encouragement to get him back into acting. But every time he's about to make his profound philosophical point, his mother barges into the room hollering about one thing or another, like his miso soup getting cold. No big loss. It only calls attention to the fact that this is a man in his 40s still living with his mother. Anything he's got to say, no matter how true, is only going to carry so much weight with Aqua. Aqua compares his talent to that of his mother. He fears that if he doesn't possess that same level of skill, he won't succeed as an actor. The director reminds him that he has an exceptional intellect and other skills that his mother didn't have, and that setbacks should not hinder his aspirations. Aqua recalls his mother's last words. She had expressed her vision of him as a successful actor. Just as he's about to speak up, the director's mother interrupts once again. Ruby and Aqua apply to the same high school, one of the few that offers a performing arts track. Curiously, Aqua simply enrolls in their general studies program. As they discuss how their acceptance process went, a red-haired girl walks by. It's Kana, the baking soda girl, who seems just as short as she was a decade before. She recognizes Aqua, who barely recalls her. She's excited that they'll be studying together. That is, until she finds out that he didn't apply for the arts department. Aqua heads to the director's place, and Kana follows him, asking him all kinds of questions, even trying to get him to go out with her. She's quite well known, so normal dates are off the table, and she invites him to her place. He agrees to nothing, but lets her tag along to the director's. She inquires about Aqua's acting career, or lack thereof. He believes that his breakout childhood role was a fluke, due to simply being a child with all of his previous incarnations' memories, temperament, and experience, that no one knows about, of course. Kana pivots and divulges her current role on Sweet Today, a drama series based on a shoujo manga that Aqua is familiar with. Kana offers to get him a role on the show, but determined to stay behind the scenes, he's quick to tell her he's not interested. That is, until she mentions that a certain Kabudagi Masaya is working on the show. Aqua recalls the painstaking process of trying to unlock one of Ai's phones. She'd had that phone since before her pregnancy, and this was his best lead to find out who his father is. After a grueling 4 years of brute forcing the password, he had finally gained access on try 45,510. Masaya is one of the old contacts on the phone. Kana is going on about the effeminately gorgeous male lead when Aqua cuts her off to tell her he'll take the role, which leads her to wonder if he plays for the other team. Kana speaks with Masaya over the phone, and he agrees to give Aqua the gig. Back at home, Ruby is ecstatic about her brother's new role. She's also a fan of the manga. She and Miyako decide to watch the series, only to give up on the first episode. The adaptation is atrocious. The acting is terrible. It's just a sad attempt at publicity for the troupe of models they cast. At a karaoke place, Kana goes into more detail. She had been cast to give the production some credibility, But among the rest of the quote-unquote actors, she really has to hold back to not draw too much attention to just how talentless the others are. But she wants to make a watchable show at the very least. The writer of the manga had visited the set one day. To say she was disappointed doesn't capture it. Kana witnessed the writer's soul physically leave her body through her cold, hollow eyes. Since their first acting gig together, Kana's learned a lot and grown. Emotionally and empathetically, that is. Physically, she's still very small. She's risking her reputation and position in the industry to try to save the production. She then dumps the fact that they're skipping a table read. Oh, and shooting starts tomorrow. While reviewing the script, Aqua is impressed with Kana's ability to take advantage of a competent crew, regardless of the poor crop of talent, to make an approximation of what could be misconstrued as entertainment, and not merely long-form advertising for the models. On set the following day, the production team preps for shooting. Aqua is introduced to Masaya, who could possibly be his father. He just needs to find an opening to collect some latent DNA from the guy. During their one rehearsal for his scene, he puts just enough effort into his role as the villain to avoid upstaging anyone or standing out. Even though he repeatedly asserts that he's a mid-level actor at best, genius recognizes genius, and Kana commends his professional approach to the work in general. And working with him, she feels like she has a peer, that she's no longer alone in her struggle trying to make it in an unforgiving industry. Aqua waits in the shadows for an opportunity to collect some discarded cigarette butts for that daddy DNA. He overhears Masaya boasting about how easy it is to exploit Kana since she became a freelancer. He's using her name recognition and talent as an actor to carry the show while criminally underpaying her. It completely dismisses the only thing she hopes to get out of her work, being valued for her abilities. After listening to this disheartening reality, Aqua resolves to act. Thank you for sticking until the end. Subscribe for more videos like this.